Hey gamers, Rick here for Game Trade Media. We're with Brad, and the only reason I knew that name is because it's literally on the box. Brad, here to tell us about Legend of the Five Rings. Now this game's been around for a while.
Yeah, since the mid-90s.
Okay. Now, and it's steeped in mythology and history.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that before we get into the meat of this.
One of the most exciting things about L5R's history is a lot of it was written by the players through the results of tournaments over the last 20 or so years. And we've really taken that history, we've thought deeply about it, and we're starting anew with Rokugan from where the players picked it up from AEG, which is the original creator and distributor of L5R.
Okay.
And we are making our own version and our own interpretation of what that was.
Okay. So what are some of the things that people are going to recognize about this game?
Well, the deep mythology behind it, the kingdom or the empire of Rokugan, founded by the children of the gods, creating 7 great clans, are all things that players are going to recognize.
All right, and those clans are?
Well, in order.
Yes.
Crab, crane, dragon, lion, phoenix, scorpion, unicorn.
Okay.
Are all the great clans found each with its own founding kami.
Nice. And today we are going to be playing, I know I am playing Crane.
Yes.
And you are playing?
Lion.
All right. So that should be an interesting mix, yeah?
Yeah. So the lion and the crane are the left and right hands of the emperor, leading the emperor's courts and his military in turn.
Awesome. So we're going to go ahead, everybody, we're going to do a quick little demo. Brad is going to give us the nuts and bolts of how this game is played. Brad will be going first. I will probably be defeated very quickly, as is the way of things. But again, Legends of the Five Rings, and let's get into it.
Okay, so the goal of the game is ostensibly to break your opponent's stronghold.
Okay.
Now, in order to do that, you're going to have to come and travel through and break some of my other provinces as well.
Okay.
You're going to have to break 3 of them. Now, we've done a little bit of setup here, so we can already see our characters, we already have hands, we're all set to go. But you're going to have to attack me, and I'm going to have to attack you. Okay. Now, the other ways we can win is, since we're talking about Rokugan, a land steeped in honor and tradition, we have these tokens here called honor. If a player ever runs out of honor, they lose the game.
Okay.
So that'd be another way to beat your opponent.
Okay.
However, if either of us ever gets 25 honor, we're going to immediately win the game. So that'd be another way for us to win. So it's not just what's happening in these provinces, but how we go about playing the game that matters.
Perfect.
So to start, we're going to jump right into the first phase, which is the Dynasty phase.
All right.
In the Dynasty phase is where we're going to be spending our fate, which is the game's primary resource, to play characters. Now, L5R is a little special. We base this game around a Japanese philosophy called Mono no Aware, which roughly translates to the pathos of things. Essentially, the idea that all good things must end, everything changes, and fighting against that is foolhardy.
Sure.
So in L5R, your characters will only stay in play for a limited amount of time.
Okay.
If you just pay their base cost, only 1 turn. So for example, I'm going to play my Sepun Guardsman. He's going to cost me 1 fate, which I will pay. However, when I play that character, again, I'm only have 1 turn unless I spend additional fate from my fate pool to keep him around longer.
Sure.
And in this case, I'd like to keep him around for an additional turn.
Okay.
So now I'm going to put an additional fate on him, meaning he's going to stay in play for 2 turns.
Okay. So, and when you make that decision, that's the only time you make that decision with that character.
Exactly.
So during that next phase in the next turn, you can't say, well, I want to put another one on this guy.
Exactly. You're determining his fate right when you play him.
Awesome.
Then the province is going to refill face down. I'll get to know what that card is next turn.
Awesome. Okay. And that is, now it's...
And we're going to go back and forth playing our characters until we both decide to pass.
Okay.
Now I'll warn you, first player that passes gets an additional fate.
Okay.
So there's a strategic decision of how I play my characters, how much fate I spend, and when I pass.
And fate is determined by the number on our stronghold.
Yes. And all the strongholds in the base game have 7 fate.
Okay.
So we're going to have 7 to spend every round.
All right. So I think I want to put the Doji Whisperer into play.
Good choice.
And I would like to keep her into play one additional turn as well.
Wonderful. And then you'll just want to refill your province.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's a lot of political strength on your side of the board. And I would like to counter that in some way. I think I'm going to play the Venerable Historian.
All right.
Now, she's going to cost me 2 fate, and I'm going to put 2 fate onto her.
Okay.
I'd really like to keep her in play for a little bit longer, so.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But because you are the lion, and I feel that because being the lion, you are very military oriented, I am going to play the, I can't even pronounce it.
Daidoji Narishma.
I'm going to play that.
He's a named character, so he's got the unique icon here, which means you can only have 1 in play.
Oh, okay.
But usually they have special, more potent, and more interesting abilities. And generally, they're more interesting in the story. And I believe Narishma actually comes up in some of the tales that we've already told on our website.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Now, so I'm going to keep him in play 1 additional turn as well.
Mm-hmm. Back to my turn. See, now I only have 1 fate left. I could play the Akoma Prodigy and have another character on the board, but I'm going to pass.
Okay.
And I'm going to get an additional fate for doing that. So now, back to you.
So, because I want to, so next turn you'll have 7 added to this, so you have 9. Okay.
Unless I spend some in an upcoming phase.
All right. So based on that knowledge, this would replenish here. I am going to pass as well.
Okay. So now we both passed.
Yes.
So we're going to move to the next phase of the game, which is the draw phase.
All right.
Obviously, players love drawing cards,
Yes.
and I do too.
And they also like doing this a lot.
Yeah, they do. And the more cards they have, the more they can do that.
Right.
And so we're going to use these honor dials.
Okay.
Now, when you draw cards in L5R, you're going to be drawing them specifically from the conflict deck, which is our second deck that we have on the other side of our provinces.
Okay.
And this deck represents the traps, the tricks, the maneuvers, and the secrets that our clan holds.
Okay.
Now, dipping into this pool of secrets costs us honor.
Okay.
And in order to do that, we're going to compare our honor against one another.
Right.
So we're going to secretly select a number on this dial, and then we're going to compare.
Okay.
The player that bid higher is acting more dishonorably.
Right.
And will move a number of honor tokens over to his opponent.
Okay.
Now, in this case, if I were to bid 5 and you bid 3, I'd have to give you the difference, 2 honor.
Okay.
So let's figure out. I'm going to go with that. When you flip them over,
Aha.
we both picked 3.
Yes.
So we're being equally honorable or
Okay.
equally dishonorable. But
Right.
no honor is exchanged, and we'll
Okay.
both draw 3 cards.
Awesome.
Ooh. Glad I saved that fate.
Yeah, I think it's awesome when your opponent says, "Ooh, that means they got something good." Dang it.
Okay, so now I have the first player token, which means when we move into the next phase, the conflict phase, I'm going to get to declare the first conflict.
Okay.
Now, we have an opportunity to play anything we want to before conflicts.
Okay.
I'm going to pass on my opportunity to play anything.
Oh, meaning he wants to see what I'm going to play. Smart. And during conflict, can we pay and play more things?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
So this is just in case you have any cards that say you can't play them during a conflict and you still want to get them down. I know in particular there's a Crane card that can only be played out of conflict, but is still a type of card that you'd play during this phase. So.
All right. Well, I would like to place upon my Doji Whisperer the Ornate Fan.
Ooh, getting ready early. Now you can also play attachments during a conflict,
Right.
but Crane, you're playing face up, being honest.
Yeah.
Good on you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, so I am going to declare a conflict then.
Okay.
I assume you don't have any other cards you'd like to play.
Not in this. Yeah, I'll wait.
Okay. I am going to make a political conflict over here at this province. I'm going to send my venerable historian.
Okay. So I would defend with one of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And because I am highly political on this character, I would like to defend with my Doji Whisperer.
Sounds great.
Okay.
Okay, so before you make that decision, though, we're going to flip that province
Okay.
over and see what's under there.
All right.
A shameful display.
display.
During a conflict this province, choose two participating characters. Honor one of those characters and dishonor the other. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
We're going to go now to conflict actions, and the defender is going to get the first opportunity to take an action.
Which would be placing a new card. Correct?
Placing a card using an ability. So
Okay.
currently at your disposal, right on the board, you could use the action on Shameful Display to honor your character and dishonor my character.
Okay.
You could use your Stronghold to try and bow my character.
I like the idea of doing the honor dishonor here.
Okay.
So I will honor mine
Mm-hmm.
and dishonor yours.
Sounds good.
Okay.
So now each action in the game is triggerable once per round. So you
Okay.
couldn't keep doing that.
Right.
You used it your one time.
Okay.
Now I am going to use the action of my Venerable Historian. Since I am more honorable overall than my opponent, I'm going to honor this character. So, which means when a character is dishonored and is honored, it just loses its dishonor.
Okay.
Now back to you.
All right. So, I'm going to do an action
Okay?
for shame.
Oh no.
It says during a conflict, if you control a participating courtier, which I do, choose a participating character controlled by your opponent. Your opponent must select one. Dishonor the chosen character or bow it. I will choose.
So you choose this character, and then I choose I'm going to bow it.
Okay.
And then I'll react to you bowing it
Okay.
by noting that this character is in fact ready for battle. After an opponent's card effect or ring effect bows a character you control, ready that character.
Oh, tricky.
Now it's my turn, and I'm going to play some court games. It says during a political conflict, select one. Choose and honor a participating character you control, or your opponent chooses and dishonors a participating character he or she controls. And I'm going to honor my Venerable Historian.
Okay. Of course you
So
are.
right now the totals are 6 to 4. Since when my character is honored, it adds its glory stat to both its political and military stats.
Wow, okay.
Your character does as well, adding 1 and then +2 for the Ornate Fan.
Okay.
So you're still winning.
So I will pay 1 fate to play Outwit.
Oh no.
Because we were playing a game
We were.
just now. So I will outwit your character.
Yep.
Action. During a conflict, choose an opponent's character. I will choose this one with a lower political skill than a participating courtier character you control. Move the chosen character home.
Oh no. So my Venerable Historian gets moved home. That moves
Discards.
to your discard pile. And now I have no participating character, so the conflict will end.
Nice.
And you will claim this ring here.
Awesome.
Now, obviously, when you go to select ring for your conflict now, you'll only be able to select between these 4.
Okay.
However, since this character participated, and at the end of the conflict, all characters that were still participating
Bow.
bow. However,
Okay.
since you sent mine home,
He can be a participant again. Curses!
so now it's your turn.
That's a really cool mechanic there, because not knowing that mechanic, I may not have done it, but it's still a cool one to see that he is now still able to, like, if I want to come in with this guy next on my conflict, which I will.
Yep. Well, the interesting part is now this character has a dash for military.
Right.
Now, a dash means it cannot participate.
Okay.
So I'm not going to be able to attack with this character, but I'm going to be able to defend with it.
Okay. So I am going to open up a conflict,
Okay.
and I'm going to come at this one here.
Sounds great. And what ring type would you like to use?
I was looking at the air.
Air. So I
As a
assume.
military conflict.
Yeah, so you'll just toss that on there. We will flip this ring over. It is the Art of War.
Curses.
When this province is broken, draw 3 cards.
So when it breaks, you draw 3.
I draw 3.
Dang. It's like I don't even know this game. I'm setting you up for success.
Well, I'm going to declare no defenders.
Really?
No defenders.
Okay. So at that point, all I have to do is beat this, which I currently do.
So, yep. Now, we still go to actions.
Okay.
So, because I might play a character out of my hand.
Ah.
I'm not going to, but I might.
But you might. So if I wanted to throw an action on here.
So I'll pass my first action because
Okay.
the defender takes the first, and then if say this was higher and you wanted to break it, you could still.
And
play it.
I because I don't know that, I would play, because I thought this was a really cool card, Bonsai, to increase his attack. During a conflict, choose a participating character. That character gets +2 to military until the end of the conflict. You may lose 1 honor to resolve this ability twice.
Boom.
Wow.
You're gonna lose an honor. Or are you good?
I'm good.
Okay, so you got 5 coming at me. I'm still gonna pass.
Okay.
Back to you.
I'm going to let him run through.
Okay, so when a conflict is uncontested, means I've done a dishonorable thing. I didn't protect the lands that the emperor asked me to protect. I'm going to lose an honor.
Wow. Okay.
So that just goes away.
Okay.
Then you're going to get to resolve. Well, first, this will break. Ouch.
Yeah.
However, I'm going to draw those 3 cards.
Dang it.
Add those to my hand. Then you're going to get to resolve this ring effect,
Okay.
which you can either take 1 honor from me or gain 2.
I'm going to gain 2.
Sounds good. And this ring is going to go back and chill out by your stronghold.
Okay.
Then Daidoji Narishima
Bows.
bows and goes home.
Okay.
You sure have a board that doesn't have any characters.
Curses.
And it's my turn to make my second conflict. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make a military conflict with Sapun Guardsmen. I'm really feeling that shameful display right now. And we're going to make it a fire conflict.
Okay. Now, at this point, I can do the thing again when it comes back to me?
You
Or
can't,
I
because
cannot?
you used it on the
Then this
earlier
turn.
conflict.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Your chance to declare defenders
I have no defenders.
has no defenders. No defenders.
Right, so I will pass.
You have the first opportunity to take an action.
I cannot take an action.
Okay, I'm going to use my Strongholds ability to give all of my attacking characters +1 military.
Okay.
Back to you.
I'm going to... Could I bow your character using my stronghold ability? Or only in a political attack?
Only in a political
Curses.
conflict.
Well, they're, holding out for hope. I can do nothing.
Okay, so I will pass then.
Okay.
We both pass, so the conflict ends. I have 3 to your 0. You're going to lose the honor this time.
Yeah.
I will resolve that. And let's see. 1 on both of them. But I'd like to continue to dominate militarily. So we're going to dishonor Daidoji Narishima. This card would have been discarded earlier.
So mean. Would this be discarded as well? Or
Nope, that one's an attachment. This
Okay.
one's an event.
Okay, so...
So then I'll put that by my stronghold. And so now he's a 2-0.
The meanest.
Now, additionally, when a strong province breaks, the player that broke it can tell the person that controls it to discard the card that's in it.
Okay. And
You could have done the same over here.
Okay.
I forgot.
That's okay. I don't see it, but you see what this is.
I do, and
Yeah.
I don't want you to have that character.
Okay, makes sense.
And you'll refill it face down. Oh, yeah. Then my character would go home bowed.
All right.
Back to
Wow.
you. You'd have the opportunity to take your second conflict, but if you don't have any characters,
And I don't, so
Okay.
I would pass.
you do. Now, I'm out of conflicts. You're out of conflicts.
Okay.
So we go to the end. Last thing that happens during the conflict phase is we determine which player has the most glory on ready characters. Now, this Venerable Historian has 3.
Okay.
You have 0 ready characters, so you have 0. But we add to that the number of rings that we have.
Okay.
So my total is 4 to your 2.
Okay.
The player that has the most takes the Imperial Favor. That basically the Emperor is smiling upon my efforts this round.
Okay.
And that is either set to the political side or the military side. Because I'm the Lion, I'm going to set it on the military side.
Sure.
And that will end the conflict phase.
Okay. Which takes us to the fate phase.
Yep. Now, during the fate phase is when the Mono no Aware really kicks into high gear.
Okay.
First thing that's going to happen is all characters that have no fate on them will be discarded.
Right.
Thankfully for us, that's nobody.
Right.
Then, each character that has fate on it loses 1.
Right.
So we'll both remove 1 from each of our characters.
Okay.
Last thing that happens is fate is placed on each of the rings that was not selected this round.
Okay.
When they're picked on a subsequent turn, that fate immediately goes into the player's fate pool.
Wow. Okay.
Then these rings are returned.
Okay.
Last thing that happens is we go to the Reef group phase. We will ready up all of our characters.
Okay.
We will discard any cards that are face up in provinces that we don't want. Currently I'm happy with mine.
I am too.
And we will pass the first player token.
And do these flip at this time, or does that
That'll-
at
they'll-
the dynasty phase?
Yep,
of
at
next
the
turn?
beginning of the dynasty phase, they'll flip back over.
And that begins the next round.
Yep,
Cool. That's awesome.
that's L5R.
I love it. Well, thank you very much for showing us this, Brad. I appreciate it.
No
And
problem.
I hope
Happy to
everybody out
share
there
it.
was found that this can be very engaging. There's so many levels to play here that make it so that it can fit many different play types. If you want to be that attacker type.
There's the Scorpion that are trying to dishonor their opponent.
Right.
There's a Crane deck that's trying to get to 25 honor. The Lion and the Unicorn that are just trying to break provinces as fast as they can. The Crab that's going to hang back, be defensive. The Dragon deck that's trying to build up a ton of attachments on a very cool character.
Right.
There's just so much variability in this
It's
game.
awesome. I love it. And so you can get this at your local game store, and hopefully there will be some really cool stuff coming out in the near future to help support this.
There's some super exciting stuff, and again, one of the chief identifying things about this game is we're going to be having players have influence on the ongoing storyline that's occurring around this game. There's going to be story inserts in each and every one of our monthly, with this first one we're doing 6 packs in 6 weeks.
Wow.
So each one of those packs is part of an ongoing story
Okay.
that the players are going to be able to immerse themselves in.
That's so cool. So cool. So go to your local game store, pick up Legends of the Five Rings, add it to your gaming library, sit down with all your friends and play it, participate in the local tournaments, and help build this living card game. It's going to be awesome.
We're excited to have everybody
It's
playing.
so cool. I'm Rick.
I'm Brad.
Thanks for watching here at Game Trade Media, and we'll see you at the game store.
Don't forget to subscribe to Game Trade Media. Leave a like and comment on what videos you'd like to see next.